So today I'm here with Mr. Wendell Moore. Mr. Wendell Moore has been nominated for the Pineapple Award twice and nominated for Journalist of the Year. He's been a journalist for the last more than 20 years. And of the last few years, we have become very close, interacting a lot, doing a lot of interviews. Normally he's interviewing me, and today I have the pleasure of interviewing him. Mr. Moore, good afternoon. How are you today?
I'm doing fine, thank you.
So today I'm going to ask you about 5 questions. I'm gonna take you way back to when you were a boy, because I want to inspire the next generation of young people to see that where people are, if you went all the way back to who they were, you'll be surprised as to who they were. So let me take you back to when you were 7, 8, 9 years old, as far back as you can remember. Who was little Wendell?
I was quite troublesome, of course, but in school I've always done well. I was involved with a lot of sports from a very young age. I even ran a competition, a 100-meter dash competition. I didn't know I was that quick, but with a little help from coaching and my active participation in just about everything that I'm involved in, showed that I had what it takes to do quick sprints. So I've been involved in a lot of sports. And as a young boy, from 4, 5 coming up, my mother was one of the only boys around. And I'm referring to her as a boy because she's the only main figure. I didn't have the privilege of living with my father.
Okay.
I lived with my mother, who had 4 children. The 2 big ones, they were before our age, so they have left early, and I didn't see them growing up. But the other 2, which is me and my last sister, we were the younger ones. We spent a lot of time with our parents. So I lived a lot under her covering, and I had playtime, but I had chores to do as well. And that's something that I find that a lot of young children nowadays don't have much chores to do, which I think is a big contributor to building discipline and assignments and completing assignments, which is something that once you're able to do it, it's instilled in you. And so I think I had a pretty, I was a little troublesome too. I was a little troublesome.
Boys will be boys, right?
Wayward. Sometimes my mom had to be calling for me, don't know where I am, but she would shout because she know that I'm not very far away. And we usually go in a garden area and play sports and hang around with the rest of the children from the village. I would hear a voice, and I know that I have to leave and go because she's calling for me. One of the things I couldn't do is knowing that she needs me and I'm not leaving to go, being rebellious and say, stay around. No, I wouldn't do that. So I had certain discipline that helped me, I think, build the kind of foundation that probably led to what I've grown up to become.
Okay, so now we start going into your teenage years. You're 13, 14, you're getting up there, you're in high school, completing high school. Who were you at that age, and what was your aspirations?
Yeah, well, that was shared between my elder sister and my mother, because I actually was born, and until about 12 years I was in Nevis, left Nevis and came to St. Maarten from St. Maarten. I was here for a short period of time, did a little bit of schooling, but didn't stay long because my elder sister was making provisions for me to come there, because my mother took off and went to it was Sabre, believe it or not, where she went to work as a housemaid. And in her absence, my grandma, I spent some time with my grandma, who used to take care of me, and it so happened that she died.
Oh, sorry to
And
hear
after she died, I was one of those who were left without someone to take care of me, and that's why I ended up coming to St. Maarten to live with my uncle, which is my mother's brother. So that's why my youth was shared between Nevis and St. Maarten. And then after that, I left and went over to do get my secondary education in the Virgin Islands, where my eldest sister was living. I was privileged to live there with her.
St. Thomas or St.
St.
Croix?
Croix.
St. Croix.
Mhm. And then after that, while approaching, well, in the heart of my teen, really, my sister used to work at the hotel, so, and she didn't have any children at home. I was the only one who had to leave and go to home after school, go home, and sometimes I hang out by some of the neighbors before I reach home, which she didn't like too much. So after my successful graduation, in secondary graduation, I ended up coming right back to St. Maarten.
Okay.
And then while here, I spent the latter part of my teenage, 17, 18, 19 here, where again it was another struggle, but certain discipline were in me to aspire to wanting to work and find things. I remember my first job was at it was called Concord at the time, but right now we know it today as Maho.
Maho Hotel, yeah.
Yeah. And my first job was basically giving out beach towels and umbrellas to the guests. So every morning I go to the laundry and I make sure that I got this bin filled with towels that is shuttled down to the beach. And in the afternoon, when it's time and everything is over, I would fill this thing back with soil towels this time, some of them with sand and all kind of stuff. And it goes back to the laundry, and the laundry do their part. So that was my daily chores until the season was over and things got really wacky and slow, and I had to find other work to do, and then I ended up in the dining room, work as a busboy, that type of stuff.
Yes.
So yes. I was always
active
working.
and trying to work and earn your money.
And earn my own. I had no choice.
Right.
I had to.
But it also builds grit, and it starts the foundation for you to become the man that you are today. So, was there something then that you said, like, I want to become as a teenager, or came after?
I am one of those teenagers who never had a plan or a desire of wanting to be somebody specific.
Okay.
But in school, because of how well I used to do in school, people used to give me a nickname, a lawyer. They used to call me a lawyer because I am always ready to defend or argue a point based on my knowledge of what it is. So it's always I'm always engaged. Conversational. So they call me lawyer.
So if you were growing up now, if you were a teenager now, what would you think you would be compared to who you were back then? Would you be with the internet and everything that we have available now?
Oh, you're talking about with technology
today.
with
technology today. Who would you think you'd be?
Boy, that would be interesting because I was always inquisitive as well. And what I had back then was pen and paper. And by the way, my elder sister, one of the things that she made sure she secured for me when I was a teenager back then was to do two things: either study to either learn to play the piano or learn to type. And I choose typing. And as a result, today, I blind type. I don't necessarily have to look at the keys and know the keys by heart. So maybe with the technology we have today, there's no telling. It's kind of difficult for me to really picture or imagine what it would have been like with all the gadgets that are available today. Because you need to know as well that when I shifted from working in the dining room, I actually got a scholarship later on to go to the University of Miami, not Miami, the University of Florida,
Okay.
Gainesville.
Okay.
And it's because of my exposure around radio and television and that kind of stuff.
My daughter has a degree from there too as well. So
She went to UF.
yeah, she went into UF as well.
So Gator Country. Yeah.
Yes.
That's exactly where it was. And that helped shaped my direction as to where I needed to go now, because I went and I studied journalism and communication.
Mm.
So that may have helped a little because of how talkative I maybe was, or how, not, I won't say argumentative either.
Communication.
It was more dialogue,
interaction and dialogue, right?
dialogue.
Yeah.
So maybe that's the good reasons why I ended up in journalism, because now I do a lot of writing as well as I was into television as well.
Right.
So, but I don't know. The world, the sky's the limit.
The sky,
There's no.
Because you would have had so
as a
much
teenager
more option.
right here.
Yeah.
Maybe I could have easily become confused too, because sometimes if you're not focused,
Right.
you can easily.
And you have because
find
there's so much
yourself-
information now
Exactly.
compared to back then.
Yes.
You know, you could control the information that you got. Now you have no control over it. It's just coming.
And to some, if you can't be focused, you can become confused.
Yeah.
Easily confused.
So okay, so you've been, because now you've also been an educator.
Yes.
So you've been an educator, a journalist, both television and radio. Would you say now, and you retired from teaching,
Yes.
and you're still doing journalism? Would you say what you're doing now is living out your dream, or is some of it still work, like you're going to work? Because they say if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life.
Yeah,
so
that's true. Because you love what you do. I just see myself divinely shaped into a facilitator.
okay,
That I don't see, it's not work. I'm just functioning in my capacity that has been chosen for me to function in.
beautiful.
I don't really see it as work, because I enjoy what I do. Sometimes I get a little lazy because I manage myself.
Right.
But it also means that wee hours of the morning when I should be sleeping, I'm also up working.
Okay.
Because you have to get
You
your
have to
story
prepare,
finished
exactly. You have to
and
prepare.
have it written, and so you could publish
Good.
and that kind of stuff. But I see myself as a facilitator, and I also give time to still study and spend a lot of time into reading, so that you can have the information and then you disseminate it, whether it's by writing or break it down into small bits and pieces so that people can understand. So that is the key role that I see myself doing right now. I don't see it as my dream. I see it as functioning in a capacity
More
that
lifestyle.
was
This is now
designed
your lifestyle.
for me to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So now here comes the toughest question out of all. Imagine yourself now. You went to a school, or you were in the gymnasium, and there was a full assembly, and the kids, ranging from 12 to 19, they're gonna get out of high school, and you just had nice, beautiful workshop with journalism and writing, creative writing, understanding, and how to speak. There's a black SUV outside waiting for you. They're gonna jump you into that SUV, and then they're gonna drive you to the airport. You're gonna go into a private jet because you're Wendell Moore, right? They're gonna fly you off to LA. You're gonna get some big award. what is the last parting words that you would say to those kids before you leave?
Well, you know, I have a tendency of most of my parting words to some of the children that I taught in school when I do meet them again, because that often happens, would probably be shaped pretty much like what would be my parting words if I'm leaving this area where I always try to tell them, just be positive. Always, you have the capability to be at your very best, and it takes you to make it happen. Be at your very best. And I always, when I do have, depending on the amount of time, I always say, try to keep a positive face, a smile, because when you smile, even if you're faking it, you actually you're taking control of your environment, and you are creating that positivity that may have been suppressed at the moment. So I put the rein in the hands of the individual.
Absolutely.
Let them know that they are the ones who can make things happen. So just be positive.
Wendell, thank you for your time. I know you don't do too many interviews where you're on the camera, so I thank you for taking the time with me, and it was truly inspiring, and I know for sure it will inspire others.
My pleasure.